Hey, it's Magnus here. If you remember from yesterday's video, I showed you this spinner. And I also showed you this spinner. Well, the first one was being sent to someone in the US. I live in New Zealand, by the way. So that one's gone. The sort of revolver looking one is gone. I am left with this one, which I cut for myself. Now, as you can see, it's hugely unfinished. I just water jet cut it. It's got sharp edges and things like that. I was actually just gonna leave it, just like not bother, but I've got a core for it to make it spin. It's, it's too big. It's, I talked about it yesterday. But I thought I would come in today and just sort of sand the edges, sand the corners, just so I can play around with it, really. So far on this grinder here, which has a belt that is, I'll just show you. That belt is basically completely wrecked. So I've just managed to do that, sort of grind the outsides here, as well as grind the flats here and here. Still a bit rough looking though. I don't have another belt, so I have to sort of use that one. And by the way, this thing here is water. I have to keep cooling it like every 5 seconds or 10 seconds because titanium is really bad at conducting heat. So I'll just sort of like sits there and your fingers get burned, or is it good at conducting heat? Good or bad? One or the other. It gets really hot anyway. What I'm going to do now is, if you look on these bits here, you see the inside, they're still pretty rough. I can't get into these little round bits with that grinder there. So I have another grinder, this one here. So I'm going to use that grinder. So I'm going to get into these hollows with that. I'm also going to round the edges and the corners. I don't think I'll tumble it today. I'll just do that. And that'll be enough to sort of play with and just muck around with it, really. Turned out pretty well, actually. Still got scratches all over it and that kind of thing, but take a look at this. Time to put the core in it, I think. And we're done. Now, I'll be honest, this thing's kind of interesting for basically one reason. It's just a big honking chunk of titanium. I mean, that's 8mm thick, which is, I don't know, just over 1/3 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch. I don't know. It's 8mm anyway, and it's quite wide. It's just flat out chunky, and it's quite an interesting little spin. I was spinning it on the table earlier today, and you put it on the table and you spin it. It takes quite a lot to get it to spin, and it just keeps on going and going. So that's kind of pretty cool. Now this is just a muckabout. It's not a proper thing I'm going to develop or oh, actually, It's pretty good actually. It's pretty good. Maybe I will develop it. But it's certainly far from finished if I do. I've got the other one that I'm working on. You've probably seen that in other videos. I'm working on, you know, another spinner, so like the ultimate titanium spinner. This one is just, it's just me mucking around really. Right, just come back from the workshop, and on the drive home, it's not a long drive, 10 minutes or so. On the drive home, I was thinking about this. I wasn't playing with it, it was in the boot, but I was thinking about it. Because I played with it a little bit before I left. And what I liked about it, or what should I say, what I like about it, is I like the weight, like the solidness, because I've been playing with, you know, a spinner, or you know, the main spinner that I'm designing just now. It has, you know, it's a lot of, the main spinner I'm designing just now it's a lot lighter than this. It's at least half the weight, maybe even, you know, less than that. But that's what it needs to be for it to be like a performance spinner for fidgeting. Not spin time, but just for fidgeting and the sort of giving maximum fidgetability, if that makes sense. Actually, just before I tell you what I'm going to tell you about this, if you check out the description below this video, there's a sign up page where you can enter your email and get on a sort of exclusive launch list that'll give you sort of behind the scenes and early bird access to sort of things related to the spinner that I'm developing, and you know, when it's going to be launched and all that sort of stuff. So that's in the description below. Right, what I was thinking, the weight I love, the size I don't love. This is titanium, grade 5 titanium. I only ever make stuff in titanium. And I'm thinking, what about tungsten? That means it could be up to a quarter of this size, but more likely maybe a third, and still be the same weight. I mean, this is like relatively heavy. It's not like steel, but it's still heavy for a spinner. That's for sure. So I'm thinking tungsten. What do you think about that? Tungsten spinner? Has anyone made one yet? I've never seen one, that's for sure. Right, I'll leave you with a quote. It's by Tony Robbins, and he said, "Things don't have meaning. We assign meaning to everything."